Hey students, it's Dr. Dave again. Here we are in Jacobus, Pennsylvania at a biotechnology company called Aptagen. Now, Aptagen is a company that has developed a novel synthetic biomolecule that can be used to treat patients. It has therapeutic value. It can be used to do or complement biomedical and bioscience research, and it also has industrial applications as well. We're going to take you inside to check out Aptagen, meet some scientists and other staff members, and to learn a little bit more about how Aptagen is helping to change the way science is done.
We develop aptamers. They're sometimes referred to as synthetic antibodies or chemical antibodies. We're one of a handful of companies offering these services around the world, and by far we're in the top 3, if not number 1. So other companies actually contract us to do research for them. We're problem solvers, essentially, using aptamers as our tool to solve those problems. It could be other biotech companies that contract us, big pharma, Pfizer, Merck, Genentech, Amgen, organizations like the CDC would contract us. Sometimes I use this for some of my students when I'm describing what an aptamer is. It's either DNA or RNA, single-stranded, and depending on the sequence, it will fold into unique 3-dimensional structure, okay? If this binds to a target can be small molecules in a blood sample, a protein biomarker, a cell or virus. We call that an aptamer. For example, one application is that you could target cancerous tumor tissue, right? If this aptamer that has a particular sequence and folds in a unique way is the key that fits into that lock of that cancerous cell. So it binds to the target in the body, but that's all it does. But however, if you apply a fluorescent tag that glows, you can image that tumor. Or if you apply on one end of the aptamer a radioisotope or toxin, so not only does it bind, it destroys that area, that cancerous tumorous area. So you're doing it specifically at the abnormal tissue and not the healthy normal tissue. But they're incredibly stable. They're much more specific than antibodies. And once you decoded, back to the model here, this sequence, the A's, G's, C's, and T's, the building blocks of DNA and RNA, then you can manufacture in a matter of hours to days. So the discovery takes months, but the manufacturing, depending on the scale of manufacturing, takes literally hours to days. So we have a great mix of talent here. Like I said, 20-something-year-olds are running around with great inspiration, and they bring a dose of energy and optimism to a lot of what we do here. I'm always looking for talent, right? Always looking for talent to take the company to the next level. In this area, in South Central PA, there's not much opportunity in terms of life sciences or biotechnology, and we're giving an opportunity for especially students in the STEM fields if they're interested in biology or chemistry. We have a biology track or program, and we have a chemistry track and program, and so it gives the opportunity of local high school students to observe what a lab looks like and how we conduct the scientific inquiry of testing hypotheses and designing, executing, and troubleshooting experiments.
My name is Stephen Doria. I'm the Director of Business Development and Grants here at Aptagen. My role basically with the company is to try to expand the company as best as I can and get the message out of aptamers to the community and to the country, and how we can help renovate and advance medical technologies through that. Basically what I do every day is I try to find grants that we can apply into and try to find research funding agreements that we can apply into and go through the steps of those grants to be able to show other companies and institutes such as the CDC or the National Institute of Health, different colleges, etc., about what we can do and try to get the message out for what we are accomplishing here.
I am a research scientist in Aptagen. I joined in July this year. My work includes the biomedical experiment and also the sequencing analysis. So my research focus is on to improve the selection of aptamer, use the select method, and also through the data analysis for the next generation sequencing. You probably have heard that the DeepMind company, they recently developed a model that can predict the protein 3D folding based on the amino acid sequence. I think that's pretty cool. It's a big changing of the biomedical field. So I think the next step, I believe, is to predict the interaction between the protein with the small molecules or DNA like aptamers. That is also my research interest.
My name's Nate Hoxie. I work at Aptagen, the director of chemistry. Went to school at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I got my bachelor's degree in chemistry there and started working here as an intern. Customers come to me with a general idea of their research, and I can help guide their work. Oftentimes they're making biosensors, diagnostic tools. And what's something that I really enjoy is when someone comes to me with an idea for something that's new, and I can help them create something like a new diagnostic for cancer. I think that a lot of research requires an interdisciplinary approach, especially in biotechnology these days. We're working at the interface between biological research, engineering, and chemistry. And so we need kind of a diverse background of people in terms of their education.
Hi, I'm Becca Rose. I'm currently a senior at York College. I found this internship through a networking event at my school. I really liked how Tom was talking about how hands-on the learning was and how much experience you could get. I definitely think that was totally the case. So I'm still taking classes right now. It's a little hard to balance, but it's pretty nice because I'll leave a chemistry class and I'll come straight to a chemistry lab. So yeah, it's kind of fresh in my mind. And also it's really cool because I can apply the things that I'm learning right in front of me. I've learned a lot about troubleshooting. Also, I know I've learned a lot about how to talk to vendors and people in the industry and how to accurately convey my thoughts. And also I learned a lot about working with other scientists and the do's and don'ts. I would definitely suggest that if you want to go into the science field, it's best to get as many internships and as much hands-on experience as you can.
My capacity as the lab director here at Aptagen, a lot of what I do is communication-based, really. I talk to clients about how their projects are progressing. I write up reports based on the results that we generate for them in terms of how the library does, what sequences we're looking at, and how strong the sequences bind to their targets. There's a fair amount of training. We have a robust internship program here, and in the recent years we also started up an apprenticeship program for high school students. So we train them in a lot of the standard molecular biology techniques, things like pipetting, using balances, centrifuges, standard, again, microbiology techniques that can be used anywhere, not just in aptamer research. As for what advice I would give to people looking to pursue this career path, definitely be curious. A lot of what we do is diving into the literature to see what other groups have done, and then trying to either come up with interesting variations on those ideas or combine them in new and novel ways. Science is a collaborative endeavor, and so the ability for one person to come up with something completely novel on their own is going to be outpaced by a group of people working together. So definitely, develop your communication skills. Make sure that you train yourself on how to efficiently read through scientific papers to arrive at the key concepts, and brush up on your math. There's a lot of math involved in what we do in terms of figuring out how much material we use, whether results are relevant, even what those results are.
My true passion is the science. This business is a means to an end, right? I still hold on to that long-term dream of developing aptamers that specifically target different regions of the brain to influence behavior, cognitive abilities, or just to unlock the mystery of the brain itself.
That's a wrap from Aptagen today. I'd like to thank Tom, his scientists, his staff, and all the personnel here for giving us a tour of their facility and allowing us to get an in-depth look of the science that they're doing here in Jacobus, Pennsylvania. For more information about PSBR, our mission, and the programs we offer, head over to our website, www.psbr.org.